Welcome back to Total Nonstop Impact Talk for Impact fans right here. The Bone Man is even with us. How you doing, Jay?
I'm with us. I'm totally with us. Yeah. I'm just, God. I'm multitasking on a Tuesday night, and I'm not used to multitasking on a Tuesday. Tuesday. What? Huh? What is up, everyone? Welcome back. I'm so glad Bill's here.
Who knows how long J-Bo would have went?
Oh, at least a half.
You never know.
At least a half an hour. Who knows? Yeah, we got some chatters in here. What's happening? Even a checkers guy. Oh my goodness, that's got to be an old school. And we got some new people like Save State in there. That's always sharing the content. Thank you, brother. Means a lot. I say that all the time. It is a big night. We got NXT versus TNA in NXT's Showdown on the CW. And Mayor, you're lucky I love you. Look at this. Mayor's just brutal tonight. J-Bone botching like the women's match. Hey, at least our TNA tag team took home the gold, because I'm not going to say any words of who it was, but someone from that former NXT tag team champion doesn't even know how to do a leg drop. Bill, how in the hell do you miss a leg drop?
J-Bone, how do you pull a punch? Let's not go through semantics here. Just like everything else in every sport, there's a lot of people that the basics, the fundamentals. You remember the big fundamental, J-Bone? These are fundamentals that are not taught, because everyone's they're focusing on bigger things, on big spots and things like that. So sometimes the fundamentals get missed. That's why when someone does them very well, the fundamentals, you're like, that's a very good in-ring performer, because they're just doing the fundamentals. Sometimes that's all you need.
But you know
don't
what?
Have to go crazy, but it happens. I'm not gonna like everybody. We're all human, J-Bone, unless we're AI.
We all make mistakes. This is true. And there were some mistakes made tonight, but you know what? I'm not gonna.
And once again, it is a developmental brand, NXT.
It is.
Too. Let's not forget that. Some people have not been doing this long. Like if you go to your local VFW, you'll see people with more experience than some of the people that are in the performance center. Not that they're not getting very good training, which they are, but let's not kid ourselves. Like they may have been in wrestling school for 10 years.
Yeah.
And here they may have been at the performance center for 2.
These kids are picking it up quick, and they're gonna make mistakes, but you know what? They look like stars doing it. So hey, who are we to say?
That's right.
So we got 4 big superstar wrestling matches tonight. We've got Ethan Page versus Mustafa Ali.
Chandler Park.
The artist formerly known as 1/3 of
whatever he goes by now. Always be Chandler Park to us.
Yeah, right. We've got the NXT tag team champions versus the TNA tag team champions. Winner takes all, and we had 2 Survivor Series style matches. Let me tell you, Bill, those were fun matches. Bring
back the full Survivor Series, the real deal. Enough of like, if this wasn't an example of like, bring it all back. Like, put your random tag teams together that with a crazy moniker for one night only. You establish some partnerships, some friendships, some allies, some enemies.
Oh,
It,
yeah.
like it was a great Thanksgiving tradition. That has sadly gone by the way. It's still called it. You're lucky if you get one match in that style now, when it used to be a card that was nothing but maybe all but one match would be Survivor Series style
Right.
matches.
Right.
So
And those go back to the late 80s. And that was, I was still a wee bone back then. And I loved those. Barely, not even in high school yet. I loved those matches. So much fun. And these, even though we could say, well, they weren't perfect. Well, you know what? The action and the gusto of these young, there were some veterans out there, but a lot of these performers that were in these matches tonight were real young, and they gave it their all, and it was a lot of fun. I want to thank Bell's Boy in the chat.
Thank you, Bell's Boy.
$10 spot says, how about them Phillies down 2-0 to my Dodgers? Ha ha. Well, that's not very nice.
Well, we thank you, Bell's Boy, but hey, it ain't just like everything else. Like TNA was down in the showdown tonight, but in the end they tied it up. Maybe the Phillies will go to LA and tie it up.
They might.
We'll see what happens.
You've got some championship
Innings to be played.
You got former champion and the Phillies playing some championship ball this year, just like the Brewers. The Brewers ahead 2-0 in their series against the Cubs.
You never say never in sports. Until you got it, you never know what's going to happen. Crazier things have happened. Once again, the odds not in Philly's favor right now. I think the odds are what? I think 10 teams have come down from 2-0 in the hole they're at now, but it's happened. They could be the 11th team. We'll see.
You never know what's going to happen.
The bats need to heat up, and I'll say this. I have a partial ticket plan to the Phillies. I see them a lot over these handful of years, and it's one of those things because right now the pitching, they're even pretty much, the Phillies and the Dodgers right now, but it's the bats. Dodgers timely hitting, Phillies bats are cold, ice cold right now. Now they get hot, they go on runs.
Oh sure.
Phillies start hitting, they might hit for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, the rest of the playoffs. Or tomorrow night, they just might be they might get blanked. That's how their bats go. They all go at once. They all hit at once and they all go cold at once.
It's best 3 out of 5, right?
These are only 5 games. So it's an elimination. The Phillies are on the brink of elimination. They got to win to stay alive.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, and for the sake of, my partner here, I hope they do pull through because I'd love to see a Brewers Phillies, playoff.
Yeah, we almost got it last year, but then those Mets came in instead.
Oh, the Mets. I can't say that too loud because I know that our former TNI colleague Kyle is a Mets
scumbag.
fan. The scumbag loves his Mets. It's funny. All right. It says you work for the MLB network.
I do not work for the MLB network.
But he knows a guy.
No, I'm always listed.
Now, did you go to both home games?
No, I went to game 1. I did not make it to game 2.
Okay.
Sadly, I do have. If there is a game 5 back in Philly, I will be at that on Thursday.
Oh, good. Do you have season tickets?
I do. I have what they call the Sunday plan, and then I have some additional games I go to. So I'm usually there every Sunday, and then some other games throughout the year. I usually probably add about 5 more or so. So I probably go to about maybe just under 20 games a year, not including the playoffs.
There we go. So, by the way, just in case if anybody's curious what I'm drinking tonight, it is the Mountain Dew trolley flavor. 0 sugar. This is cherry lemon.
Trolley.
It does taste like a trolley. And man, is it sweet. My wife, I'll say this, my wife was right. She's like, I'm not gonna. I brought home 2 because I wanted to share it with her. I wanted to be nice and get one for me and one for her. She's like,
Nice
that's
guy.
good. She's like, I already know it's gonna be too sweet. I'm not gonna drink it.
So, like, so you're saying it's sweeter than Dr. Pepper?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
Dr.
Like
Pepper's
if
pretty
it,
sweet.
it's like if you liquefied the sweetness of a bag of trolleys and just drank them down. It's
I hear there's
almost
a lot
too
of trolleys on the internet.
sweet. That's a little different. They're not so sweet. This is very sweet. They're more, sour pusses. So yeah.
You sour puss.
But yeah, so yeah, I got a good deal on these, so I figured I'd try them. I don't know if I'm going to buy them again. I might have to mix something with it. I don't know. Like,
Just stick to the 99-cent Arizona iced tea. Staple.
there you go. There you go. That's always a good deal. Good
Love a
stuff.
good deal.
All right. Shall we dive into a little TNA news before we review the showdown?
Oh, a little news. We did get some news, J-Bone.
We did.
Since we've been on since last Thursday.
Last Thursday, yes. So we did get
sad.
definitely unfortunate for
Not
those.
a surprise, though. Not a surprise.
No, we kind of saw this one coming for a bit. It's been talked ever since WrestleMania, Bill. When WWE made the news that they had purchased AAA down in Mexico, and wondering if certain luchadors from the TNA roster were going to A, participate, and or B, just end up not being part of TNA anymore. Well, we found that out within the last day or so. Laredo Kid is not. We heard it from the horse's mouth, so we know this to be factual. We're not giving you any rumors here like, well, we're not sure. We've heard 20 different sources
Birdie told me.
Besides Sports Illustrated. Oh, sorry. Who got it from 20 other sources? No, this is straight from Laredo Kid. He is now officially part of AAA, which, if you're a fan of WWE and you are putting some time in to watch the newly branded, I say that in all due respect, to AAA, they're under a new regime, and you can now see Laredo Kid full time on there, and so if you want to still watch them, you got your way to do it. I think they show all their events on YouTube now. Maybe not every single show, but they're special events on YouTube.
Yeah, so. Makes it accessible.
So yeah. Well, thank you, Stephen Patrick. Yeah. Hopefully, first one since 1957 for the Brew Crew. Wow, it's been a bit. I'm gonna take a wild guess and say,
were they the Brewers?
I don't think they were the Brewers. I think they were the Braves back then.
Yeah.
Hank Aaron's Braves.
Yes.
Yeah. The owner of Arby's, if you will. Love me some Arby's. Oh, we're all over.
They got the meats.
The only thing we're missing is some checkers discussion. Anyways,
bring it back.
No, we're not going there.
I just randomly tripped over an old episode of TNI, J-Bud. And it was one where Kyle, who we mentioned earlier, the scumbag, had brought checkers onto the show. He was eating Checkers. He had stopped there. It was one of my early appearances.
Okay.
And he had just brought on the Checkers. So
It had to be
good
like
times.
it had to be like 2020, I'm guessing, ish.
It was back there. Like I said, it was probably my first month or two on the show.
Okay.
So it was early. So pandemic era. Sadly, a lot of the local Checkers have not made it in my area through there. There's still some, but it's a travel. Like, not that anywhere real close, but now they're a hike. Like down, I got to go in Philly. Pretty much is the only place I can still go to Checkers.
Yeah, same here. There's a few still inside Milwaukee. There's a new one just outside of Milwaukee in a county over Waukesha. But I might go there sometime. But yeah. What else would I say? How did we get into that one? I had something on the tip of my tongue and it just escaped me.
Well, I did. Oh, well, as Checkers guy says, Checkers. No, but CJ Martin here with some other news.
There you go.
Oh, and you know what? Also, before we get away from Laredo, we already knew this because he hasn't been here in even longer. Is Octagon Jr. was also taken off the website. So the Aztec Warriors, I think it's safe to assume both are no longer with TNA.
Okay, yeah, probably. Yeah.
But I did see that they made an appearance, I believe, in California. Both M and Heather were out there in a match, and they were accompanied by Ash. But Ash by Elegance was announced to be at Bound for Glory to at least do a meet and greet. And that's the one near San Francisco that they're talking about. So that's great to see. Great to see Ash. You know, we're big fans here of the Elegance brand. And we're also big fans of this guy, producer extraordinaire.
Big Kev. What's up?
Kevin Martin in the house. Kevin Martin, let us know your thoughts tonight. Well, I think you were down there last time, but that you're on here right now, I'm wondering. My guess is you're not down there tonight, that you're in Nashville. But let us know if you are down in Florida. And if you're making time for us, we appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Always. But let us know your thoughts. Obviously, we're about to get into the show. We were just going over some quick news, but I think we've already kind of said it here. We know there were 4 matches, 2-2. The brands broke even tonight. It looks like instead of more of the showdown and the angst that we had, it seems like it's going to be more copacetic going forward with the brands. But obviously, we know some belts came to TNA from NXT tonight, which is good to see. We'll go over that, but let us know your thoughts in the chat as we go over all this, especially from those that work for TNA. Or, hey, if there's people that work for NXT in the chat, don't be bashful. We welcome you. Because we know it's almost like Crossfire. There's some people, there's dynamics that are in both brands. If you look at our ring announcer and the play-by-play man in NXT. So there's households at war.
Right.
There you go. And they did make history, the Hardys, tonight.
They did.
The Hardys have now won belts in not only WWE, NXT, TNA, in Ring of Honor. There's many more. So it just even adds more into the match going into Bound for Glory with Team 3D.
Yeah. Now, they didn't, not to bring up more controversy, but they didn't win belts in AEW, did they? Is that the only one they didn't?
Because they really didn't give them a run there. It was strange.
Oh, because I know Jeff was in a lot of trouble at that time.
Yeah, because initially they kind of, I don't know. Yeah, but they didn't do anything there.
Yeah.
We act like that never happened.
Yeah.
We forget that.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, they've been in several companies several titles. They are absolutely, without a doubt. And look, it's all subjective, and I say that a lot. But it's hard to argue that they are definitely one of the best tag teams of all time.
Like you can make the argument they're the best. Obviously, there's the discussion. Team 3D with all their title reigns, they obviously have a call there. I think people that grew up in our generation, J-Bone, if you don't say the Road Warriors or LOD, you're not doing it justice, because there was no tag team more over ever than the Road Warriors.
Yeah, they were on fire literally wherever they went, whether it was the Cup of Coffee in TNA, the NWA, the AWA, I believe they even were in for a while.
Yeah.
The WWF back then. Before,
yeah, and that's when WWF did not care about tag team wrestling, and they were main eventing pay-per-views as a tag team.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and the Road Warriors is one of those names that made other places huge at the time, outside of the WWF. And, that helped, Jim Crockett or whatever, was around at a certain time. And it's all a little fuzzy to me. I know there was NWA and then it became WCW or whatever. Yeah. And, but wherever the
Crockett
Road
versus
Warriors,
Turner.
Yeah, there you go. But wherever the Road Warriors went, they put a major stamp on the place.
Oh, and I know Mayor's saying it jokingly, but that is the other piece of news that have come out, is who will be doing the Hall of Fame inductions.
Oh.
And so we'll go. Tommy Dreamer will be inducting the Beautiful People.
Okay, and see that I didn't hear.
Yeah,
I heard about the other one.
Because I know I specifically said this is who I thought it would be, and that is Tara, otherwise known as Victoria, in the WWE, will be inducting Mickie James, and that was her feud in TNA. Like, that was the main feud. They went back and forth, so that makes a lot of sense that she's doing the induction. So that's great to see. And I saw was it Gabby will be, who worked on Busted Open a lot with Tommy Dreamer and all, and we've seen her on TNA when they were in New York. She'll be doing the inductions, like the host of the induction ceremony.
Okay.
And because obviously we're going to get Mean Gia Miller in a match, I wouldn't be surprised if she does a little backstage correspondence as well. But we'll see.
Yeah, they're going to move some people around that night, but it's going to be great. So, but yeah, let's dive into this before we get too far away from it.
Yeah.
Let's talk about tonight's NXT Showdown on the CW.
And let me just say this, J-Bone. If you saw a lot of the promotion going into the night, including the video package, if you watch the socials, obviously WWE, we know, has been partnering, really pushing TNA and everything. But the CW accounts were pushing TNA huge tonight. Once again, we know, like, that's other news that's been out there. More updates. Carlos is giving more and more interviews about the pending deal. That it's getting there. It's getting real close, especially with all the metrics in ratings for, and when I talk ratings, I'm not talking silly 5-star ratings. I'm talking people that actually watching the 18 to 49 demo, number of people, all that thing, because Nielsen has changed everything around. But that hasn't come up like in discussion. However, I think what's come up, I thought CW was always in play, but man, if you don't watch tonight and think CW is heavily in play right now, it felt like it. Like, it felt like a channel that's about to welcome TNA into the fold.
Yeah.
That's seriously what it felt like to me, the presentation. So that's just like one of my initial thoughts. Like, that felt like somebody that I feel we're going to hear shortly is on the January calendar.
Yeah. Yeah, the cold open was on social media before it got played tonight. And that cold open was very generous as far as the history telling of TNA.
A lot of good footage, a lot of
20-year
AJ,
plus
but
brand.
Yeah. Like putting it over, like seeing Kurt Angle and all everybody. It was very well done. And I know we have the TNI fam in the chat. I know there's still people that aren't on board with this. Like this is like they're not liking this. We're TNA here. Like what are we doing? But once again, it's tough to buy this type of promotion.
Yeah.
The eyes that are seeing this, and we'll see what the ratings are. Like we know because the ratings have kind of like been all over the place the last couple of weeks. But
and I
have a feeling this will be a good show for both brands.
I hope so. I really do, because they hyped this up good. They put some old school matches in here and just some good wrestling in general, just good, not a ton of gimmicks, just some good wrestling.
Well, speaking of gimmicks, we do have Bell's Boy.
Go ahead.
Boy. Yep. Last time Brewers was in the series was 1982 when they were in the American League. And I know your week was made, J-Bone, when you saw SRS get stunnered by Shotzi last Saturday at Revolver. Did you see this, J-Bone?
I saw the headline. I didn't see a video of it, but I saw the headline.
It was maybe the worst stunner since Tony Khan.
Jiminy Christmas. Kind of like Sammy Guevara used to say.
It was not. It was not.
I didn't see it, but I heard it. I didn't see it.
Bad sell. Killing the business.
Oh,
but what do you expect from
SRS is always killing the. Yeah, he's killing relationships, and he's killing the business. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Bell's Boy. Much love, brother.
Yes,
much love. Yeah, I'm like, is that all she did? I'm like, I hope it hurt.
Only egos were damaged.
Oh, if only. No comment. I could, but I'm gonna respectfully not. No respect. Anyways, yeah. So Hardys defending their TNA tag team titles. The Darkstate defending their NXT tag team titles. Now this was interesting. And it started out, I had a feeling, Bill. I had a feeling. This started out ugly. The Hardys did not go into this on top. They really had to fight their way back from this. Because it started out
we were talking about this. I was getting nervous, J-Bone, as we talked more and more about this match. I'm like, shenanigans. No finish. Then obviously had Team 3D sitting ringside. Like all these things that could play into a result. Even though we were told there would be a winner. And there was.
Yeah, all these factors playing against the Hardys. You get Team 3D, 4-on-2. You're not on your own network. Let's not forget that. You're not playing a home field advantage. So yeah, let's just say I was pleasantly surprised. I was like, man, if TNA wins any of these tonight, let it be the tag titles. That
was the one. We want to see some belts come our way because that's been the big complaint. Like belts have gone the other way. Belts haven't come. Yeah. Like we got a belt back, then it went away.
Boom.
But that's the key one. Although I do want to highlight here because I think this is a very good point from our good friend, longtime guy, Dead Punk Gage.
Dead Punk, what's up?
The problem I would have is what I call the ROH problem. When ROH hitched their wagon to Bullet Club and NJPW, and it became their only identity, And when the partnership ended, ROH lost that identity. 100% right. I was at Ring of Honor shows during that time where they went all in, pun intended, on the Bullet Club and New Japan.
Yeah.
That's all they did. 100% of their programming went that way. The main card, the middle card, almost even the lower card was all in there. They did nothing else but that.
Right, because they had up and comers like Hangman Adam Page that they threw in there. I'm like, who the hell is this guy? You know,
he was a bucket boy. He was carrying around a bucket at ringside as a one of the young lions, and then he was in a group there. But like, yeah, he was kind of like afterthought, building a story. But that story obviously just got thrown in there. They went. You could even say it was the old NWO problem. Wasn't a problem at first, but then everything became NWO back in WCW. Same thing happened here. Everything became Bullet Club and New Japan. And right now, they're not having that problem. Like, yeah, is there a lot of focus? Yes. But it's not. There's a lot of other things going on a TNA show. Like tonight is not the example because this was all the show. That was the point of this show. But I think they're keeping a good mix. Still showing the influence, prevailing to close to, depending on the show, maybe about 50% of the show. And then the other 50% is still all just TNA only storylines. Unless you have these big touchstone moments and shows. So I think they're doing well with it, but that is a risk. You got to be aware of that because there's a shining example of going too far. And like I said, it happened before with the NWO, but then the Ring of Honor one was obvious. Like you could see the writing on the wall that they went all in on this. And as soon as All In was announced and you knew where this was going, it's like Ring of Honor's dead. And they won. And they never recovered from it. They never will recover from it. No matter what they try to do. Like that, it killed that brand, even though it's technically still running.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there were some, we'll call them hometown heroes that were a part of Ring of Honor for a long time. And you lose too many of those, it's not a brand anymore. And honestly, the same thing happened to TNA for many years, until you really work hard to rebrand it and build that back up from the ashes. And look at where TNA is. Yeah,
it took a while.
Now.
Like you look like those foundational pieces that kind of came in around 2016 are still here. You're talking Eddie Edwards, Moose, Rosemary, this, and then not long after that, you had another wave that are all still with the company. But like they had that 2006, the 2009 brand that everyone will look back glowingly as like, oh, TNA heyday, and hey, great era. But to then advance, which you always try to do, because if you don't, you just stay still. Like obviously there was the Hogans and all these other things, but that also did bring a lot of eyes. So you got to, it's a fine line. Like you always got to do.
People don't like to admit that, but it did,
It is like, and to get that recognition, to get there. Now, was there things that failed? Yes, of course there was.
Oh, sure.
But there was even during the golden ages that everyone talks about. I remember when people were complaining about the 2015, 2016 era. And now they look back at it glowingly because a lot of those people like I just saw there was the anniversary of Eddie Edwards beating Lashley on TV right after Bound for Glory. But people were like, oh, this they didn't think that was a great era at the time. Now you look back, it was stacked. And we'll look back at all these, even a couple years ago. Like it's tough to appreciate stuff in the now. And that's something you always can armchair and look back later. But right now, what we're seeing, once again, like what we saw tonight, like we saw a lot of these NXT, especially like on the women's side early in this relationship. And they've had their like some runs in TNA already. And I think some people forget that that even happened if you weren't watching.
Yeah.
But hopefully they can build on that. Like Sol Ruca, we saw her in TNA.
Yeah.
And we saw
And
her
that
tonight.
was
And I think we're going to see her again in TNA in the near future.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. At some point, yeah. Yeah, because Sol Ruca is really becoming a star, and she's a double champ, you know, and that's hard to deny. You know, whether you like the championships or not, she's still a double champ. And that finisher, no one has a finisher like that. Unless Randy Orton learns how to do a somersault flip and do an RKO at the same time. Which he's not. Because that's the closest thing I can come to it, you know. But every single time Sol Ruca does that, it's like, oh, geez, no one's getting out of that. Man. Snatched again. I think she did that once or twice tonight. But yeah, let's get into that next match. But yeah, congrats to the Hardys. Someone in the chat was asking about the NXT titles being on the line at Bound for Glory. I doubt it.
I don't think so. Because they make a big deal when they put those belts on the line. And really, other than seeing the Dudleys there tonight, because we got to say, when they're on WWE programming, they're the Dudleys. They're the Hardy Boys. So that's what we, unless they want to push something in that direction, but there really isn't a lot of NXT Dudley's connection. So I would say they're just for obviously the TNA belts, but they'll be there. They'll be holding those NXT belts at Bound for Glory.
Oh, sure.
They'll come to the ring with them for sure.
Yeah. 2 belt Hardys. Hell yeah. But yeah, let's talk about the was it the ladies were next?
Yes. Let's talk about it.
The Survivor Series match. We had I'm just making sure I get all the names right. There was Jacy Jayne. There was Jaida Parker. And you know, the more I gotta say this, the more I see Jaida Parker, man, she is building quite the following.
Oh yeah,
I hear that crowd gets hyped.
They love her at the Performance Center.
They do. There was also Sol Ruca, which we talked a little bit about already, and then who was the last one?
Lola Vice.
Lola Vice. My bad. But yeah, a very young team, but a very hungry team. And I tell you, Bill, I was worried about this one, even though there was a lot of talent. And I, to be honest, I wasn't worried about Kelani Jordynne. You know, she seemed like she had a pretty good head on her shoulders as far as she is TNA Knockouts champion, and she's going against team captain per Santino, and that's a big move for Santino. That takes some guts. But yeah, so you know, no shenanigans on her part during this. If anything, things didn't quite go her way, you know, and we'll talk about that in a second. But yeah, the Inspiration at her side, along with Mara
newly
Sadè.
minted Knockouts tag team champions.
Yes. Yeah, and it looked great with those titles, you know, and it looked great in the ring too. I felt like everybody really represented well. It just wasn't TNA's night. That NXT women's locker room was a little hungrier, you know.
You're right, yeah, because you had Jacy with her belt, but obviously a lot of belts on that other side on Team TNA, which kind of was the TNA theme. They went with veterans and established champions on their teams, where obviously NXT is doing what they are. They are, we'll say it again, that's not what they are. Like TNA's that established brand in this scenario, and they're the proving grounds. They're the ones where people are looking to make their mark. It is developmental, and that's what they're doing. They're developing. So it makes sense for them to go with young upside potential that they see. And I think they did a great job. I think Chef Sean as we like to always call them, cooked up quite a team here for NXT. So good job by him for sure. And I think he made the right call. I think that was a good team to put together. They surprisingly, because you had some issues with Jacy, Jayne, and some of these individuals, but they worked pretty well together to come out on top and beat Team TNA. So that was a good job. Good job. All right. So J-Bo will be back with us shortly. But I will continue. Actually, let's get a little more feedback from the chat as we're doing this. I want everybody to be involved. And that's all opinions. We don't shy away from any of the opinions here. So let's see. Bell's Boy. The women's match was a serious botch fest. The men's match was slightly better, but not by much. I know there, like we talked about it when the show started, there definitely was some things that didn't go right. But once again, like I said, you're not going to get them all right. It happens. Live shows. And obviously you're talking developmental versus not. So some stuff like that does happen. But overall, though, I thought they did well with it. It wasn't a perfect match by any means. But I think it got over what I think both brands were looking for. J-Bud, welcome back.
I'm back.
They're better than ever.
Better than ever. I love that song. Yeah. You're talking about the wrapping up the women's match talk?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everyone focused on that. Oh, you know what? Before we leave it, though, I don't want to harp on that, but let's talk about the ref, because we haven't talked about the ref, because both of these matches had special guest refs. And this was obviously former multi-time knockout champion, Jordynne Grace, who that's probably, I think she even admitted after the show, she should stick to her day job. She's probably not in line for being an official going forward.
Well, you know, I mean, I don't think a lot of people were paying attention. I mean, yeah, it was going to be a factor because they made it a factor as far as Jordynne Grace being involved in the show. Same with Joe Hendry. They're a big part of this whole thing coming together. The beginning part of this brand partnership is the word I was looking for. You know, Joe Hendry appearing all over the place with his popularity, him going viral. Jordynne Grace being a 3-time knockout, standing out, you know, in front of the brand, representing TNA to the fullest, and WWE recognizing her and bringing her in. Tremendous. And we've talked about that plenty, but it's true. You know, they are part of this history, very important part. So why not include them somehow? And I felt like there was no shenanigans as far as I could tell. Were there mistakes made? Yeah, but we say that about every match that we talk about when, oh, Daniel Spencer was distracted again. Damn it. You know, it's like,
it's a
it.
Tuesday. It's not a normal Thursday. But we do know we get some support from the TNI official, and senior ref at TNA, Daniel Spencer. So if he happens to be tripping in the chat tonight, we definitely would like to get his opinion on how these matches were officiated by both Jordynne Grace and, because I know I'm already seeing comments about Joe Hendry's officiating in the main event. So let us definitely, but let us know, because I do consider myself a very close watcher of referee officiating. I have the things I like, the things I approve of, and then the things that I'm not a fan of.
Ever since Rudy Charles.
There were some early Rudy Charles and Andrew Thomas issues, but they did get better. I will admit they got better. That early Asylum era, it was bad. But the thing, it wasn't even all on them. It was the bumps. There was just bumps galore. Like every match had ref bumps. It was just crazy how many ref bumps there were in early TNA. But we'll go over that. It's just simple things. You don't need like it's timing. It's just being smooth with stuff. Like I just can't take the like, and we know, and it's not always on the ref. I won't always say this because sometimes it's a dance. Everyone's involved. But once again, that's not. These are just people that don't. But I'll go to TNA. If you didn't watch Victory Road, Indy Hartwell did a great job as the official. I thought she killed it as the ref in that match. But not everybody can pull that off. Like, I feel like all of them that do it well, at least in a wrestling school at some point, did some ref training.
Yeah.
Like they had to ref some matches or something like that in schools, but so they have a little bit. I feel the ones that look lost out there never did it ever.
You're right.
True. But there we go. There. But let's get into the next match, J-Bone.
So the next one is Ethan Page defending his North American title.
Now there were shenanigans in this.
NXT North American title against TNA's Mustafa Ali. And I'll say this, Mustafa Ali represented his brand well. And dare I say, doing it solo with honor, because he could have brought his crew out there. It could have been
Agent Zero caused trouble.
Yeah, could have been 4-on-1. We didn't know who was going to ref it. But no, he was out there alone versus one of NXT's best. And I will give him a lot of credit for that. And it's hard to, because it's like, there's not a lot of people rooting for Order 4 these days. But they are
TNA,
killing it.
Yeah, they're the bad guys.
Yeah. But we do say every week when they pull something off, they are killing it. They are winning, whether you like it or not. They're running away with it right now. How long that's going to last, I don't know. But Order 4 is in the next chapter of their story, and they're doing well right now. So, but yeah, Mustafa Ali versus Ethan Page. This was a really good match. And for those of you that maybe haven't watched Ethan Page in a while, let us know what you thought of him. Maybe not seeing him since, the for several years ago. How many years is it now? Is it about 5 years?
Yeah. Wow. Time flies.
Yeah. Since Ethan Page has been in TNA, one half of the North. And man, it's he's still killing it. He's all ego for a reason. He's doing his own brand well. So he's doing big things in NXT. He has since the day he walked in there.
Yes. Good for him. Good for him.
But yeah, and I'm still a fan of his. Quietly.
Oh no, I wasn't. Obviously I was. I was a big that's why I jokingly say Chandler Park, because that was an early favorite character. But no, yeah. Good to see him do well, because obviously with the North and all, he had a great run here in TNA. And then obviously when he left and was not utilized at his first stop somewhere, to see him go there and kill it is great to see. It feels like one of our guys doing good. Like I think TNA can feel like we took some credit in the building of Ethan Page. And I think that's what you're seeing there.
Oh, absolutely. I'll even give some praise and nod to the past, and people always get a kick out of this. Good old 2017 Flow Slam.
Flow Slam, baby.
It was no lie. Go look it up on Smash This Podcast. In the 2017 year highlights, Darby Allin versus Ethan Page was my rivalry of the year.
Ooh, that was a good one. I remember that rivalry.
That was hardcore at its finest. The things Ethan Page did to Darby Allin, it's a miracle he made it to AEW a couple years later. I'm just saying. My God, that kid went through some shit.
Oh God.
Yeah, but yeah, Ethan Page is killing it. Mustafa Ali, ever since joining TNA over the course of the last couple of years, has been killing it. I knew this was going to be a highlight of the evening. Didn't go the way of TNA, but I think Mustafa Ali has nothing to be ashamed of. In fact, I blame the technicians of NXT.
What was that cable doing there, J-Bud?
Yeah. Who did that? Who did that to Ali? And even if someone didn't,
TNA production would never have that happen.
I've never seen that happen. And there's always guys at ringside making sure the cords and the cables are staying out of the way of the performer.
Yeah, the grip.
Why didn't someone?
Where was the grip?
Why didn't someone jump in there and say, "Hey, time, let's get him untangled and then continue the match," because he was pinned on a handicap. How do you pin someone on a handicap?
That feels like a rematch clause to me, but
that feels like a Bound for Glory rematch, if you ask me.
Whoa!
You heard it here first.
I don't disagree, J-Bone. He's got. Now, once again, he's been waiting for this opportunity for years because he was owed this title shot. But I think that story continues.
He's been harvesting this. Yeah.
So hopefully he gets it because it was a good match. The finish wasn't clean though. It wasn't clean.
Yeah, that I wasn't happy. I wasn't happy about
system.
That.
Trust the system.
You're right. The system wasn't there. Only part of it. Critical Sting. It's always something about Flow Slam or something about Cal Hero. Hey,
it's definitely more about Flow Slam than Cal, but
yeah.
Cal gets mentioned occasionally. Like now, if you include the Hero family, then maybe it's a little closer. If you put Dave or Cal,
you're right. The only way it gets closer to Hero is if we invite David Hero on the show to talk about wrestling.
There you go.
And he was one guy when he was on the Wrestling News Report. If some people remember that show, he was a pretty non-biased guy. He covered it all. He talked about it all.
There you go.
So.
Right down the middle.
But yeah, Ethan Page retains. Sound off in the chat if you want to see this rematch at Bound for Glory. Sound off in the chat
Ethan
if you want to see it.
Versus Karate Man at Halloween Havoc.
Wait a minute. Just make sure it's not the version
cinematic
that came
match.
Just make sure it's not the version that came after Karate Man. Mr. Naked on a white screen. We don't want that version of Ethan Page. I don't know what that was, but that was his exit. It was, I don't know. Anyways, that was a different regime. Just saying.
It's a different time. It's a different time.
At least I think it was. It better have been. I think it was. But yeah, main event time. Jiminy Christmas. We had 4-on-4, the men's Survivor Series style match. We had NXT's, well, he is part of the NXT brand, but he is the TNA World Champion, Trick Williams. We also had the NXT World Champion, Ricky Saints, along with up-and-comer Myles Borne and Mr. Bouncy Bouncy himself. What's his name? Devon Evans. Yes, I couldn't think of his first name. Javon Evans. My bad. No disrespect, man. Javon Evans is amazing. And on TNA's side, you had Mike Santana, Moose. You had ex-division champion Leon Slater and international champion holder Frankie Kazarian. So you had a lot of young talent versus TNA. TNA had a nice mix. You had some young and you had some veteran.
Definitely more experience on side TNA.
I'd say, yeah.
Overall.
Yeah. So, yeah, Mayor, I didn't forget about that. I was just covering the matches first. We'll get to that. But yeah, this match was a lot of fun. TNA's down, 2-1. It really felt like TNA had to come out with a win here. And what's funny, Bill, they might not have if it wasn't for TNA World Champion
showing his true colors.
And just walking out. Just on his own
Him and Ricky
team.
couldn't coexist.
Walking out on Ricky Saints, his own team member of NXT. So what does that show you?
No one wants to admit it, but Trick, I see it in him, man. He's TNA, man. He's TNA down here where it matters, J-Bode.
I believe that to a point, but honestly, I think Trick Williams, and I don't think too many would disagree with me, Trick Williams is Team Trick Williams.
Team Tricky.
He's
Tricky.
Santino knows. How you trust a man whose name is Tricky?
But he was the X factor tonight, J-Bode. What he did, does Team TNA come out on top in this match?
Even more than Joe Hendry.
Speaking of Joe Hendry, J-Bone, where do you put his officiating skills?
I mean, you see, and that's the thing that, yeah, people were watching him, but honestly, I look at what Joe Hendry was doing tonight as more of a non-factor. I didn't see.
I don't disagree.
I didn't see. There wasn't any and if I missed something, I missed something. Because I know my wife and I were talking during part of the match, and I was really watching solidly for like the last 5 to 10 minutes, so I missed maybe part of the first part of the match. But I don't think Joe Hendry did anything,
No, well, once again, I think just like we can say with Jordynne, with the idea that either of them could have put their thumbs on the scale to make one side over the other be victorious, it didn't happen. I'd say they did enough to keep it down the middle. So I know there were some people in the chat earlier talking about him now looking at shoulders, which that is a pet peeve. I will say I did notice that, like that he may not have been looking at the right spot, but that is the thing about a referee. It's always about where the referee's looking, no matter who the referee is. But once again, someone that doesn't ref, I give that a pass. When you have either a special guest referee, enforcer, whatever you want to call it, that's fine. That's fine. So I'd say overall, once again, that he didn't have an effect on the outcome, or really an effect on, since it's multiple eliminations, that like there was no major effect to that. I call that a win when you have special guest referees. So I'd say overall, like they both managed. Now, like I said, like I was very impressed with Indy. I think Indy did great. But you're not, like, you get a good ref here and there. But usually in those times, you just got to get by. And that's what we got tonight. They both got by. So,
and Jordynne did okay.
Yeah,
she was distracted just
once
like
again,
any
she ain't gonna quit her day job, but
right. And
that's why they're in ring.
They went out of their way to talk to both teams, and no, we did not hear the discussions, but we saw them there, and you had to believe that the discussion was, hey, I'm going to call it down the middle. You can trust me. And that's not easy.
Trust me.
Trust is earned, and I'm sure there was some people in that match that did not trust Joe, that did not trust Jordynne Grace. Well, what are you going to do? That's all over the place in wrestling. So
now, what did you think about, in the end, it being like Santana and Moose being on the winning team? It wasn't a sole survivor. It was both survivors.
It was. I felt it was cool to see that way, and I was honestly, for a while, you don't know what to expect from Trick Williams. Part of me was like, oh, he's going to run back in there and just smooth the whole thing up. He didn't. He didn't. He could have helped his team win out of ego or whatever. No, he didn't. And if he would have come back, I have absolutely no doubt in my mind that NXT would have ran away with that. Honestly, because of his consistency lately.
Very consistent.
So, but like I said, he is Trick Williams is Team Trick Williams, which is why he walked out. And something didn't go his way. Well, and just screw everyone else. Doesn't matter what side you're standing on.
Well, he is Trick NA, J-Bone. And you can support Trick NA. I think J-Bone supports Trick NA with a
absolutely.
T-shirt. So you can definitely be Trick NA. Just check the link below.
Yes.
But as Mayor pointed out, and I know that's not the end. Like, that was the end of the show, pretty much.
Right.
But we do know next week it doesn't end. There still will be continuing matches featuring both brands. As we get the announcement that the one and only, he's always ready, Matt Cardona, will be in action next week against Josh Briggs, who, J-Bone, can you get another little Flow Slam shout out? He was late Flow Slam.
Was he?
Yeah, because he was coming in. He started showing up. Because what was the last year of Flow Slam? Like, was it 17 or 18?
It was 17 or 18. It might have been early.
I feel
18.
like he was just starting on some of those shows that last year. And then he became a big Evolve guy. He'd have to be right near the end. Unless he just misses the cutoff. But that's when he started showing up on on those type of shows.
See, I was thinking that Josh Briggs was a guy once that was part of Ring of Honor, but I think I'm thinking of someone else.
You're thinking of Josh Woods. Not like
is that who? That's who
you're
I
thinking.
was
Josh
thinking
the Goods Woods.
Yeah,
was a
he
very
was like
different guy, other than names sounding similar. Very different.
He was like an
styles,
MMA
size.
guy or something.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Josh Briggs is not. No,
He's tall guy.
He's more. Josh
Can't
Briggs
teach height.
is more of a guy, kind of like a Kevin Nash style, and that's like, and that's me paying him a compliment. That's not an insult. Just
The
style
Nash
wise.
is a legend.
No, I love Nash. Is always going to be one of my favorites. When I got into WCW in the late 90s, when I came back to wrestling, Nash, Hall, Hogan, top faves. Right,
Big Daddy
there.
Cool.
Big Daddy.
Speaking of Chef Shaw tonight, that was his guy. Like that felt like that was, at least in my growing up, that felt like that was like Sean's heyday when he had Big Daddy Cool as his guy, his running mate.
If you want to see a really cool documentary, go on, either the YouTube channel of the Vault, because they've been putting out like all the documentaries, or go on, what's, I don't think it's on ESPN yet. I think it's on the Vault. Go on the Vault. The team, two dudes with attitudes. That documentary, Shawn Michaels, when he was getting out of his tag team days, and he got Diesel to come into the WWF with him, and he became his heater. Very fun, very enlightening documentary if you're into that era. Very cool.
Transition that pushed Sean to that next level.
Yeah.
Which then he stayed on. But that was
so
very, very, very cool. But that's only one. We also get the announcement that there'll be a battle royale on NXT next Tuesday, featuring the ladies, and Ava is talking to Santino and sends an invitation for the TNA knockouts to participate in this battle.
Ooh.
So, and he obviously accepts. He accepts. So we don't know who yet. I'm guessing that might be revealed tomorrow night, or no, Thursday night, or on the socials in the meantime. Who knows?
Yeah.
But stay tuned, because obviously it's not stopping this relationship. And you know, J-Bone, what else isn't stopping? The coverage, because we got TNA Impact on Thursday right here. And we'll be back to talk about it. It's the go-home show for Bound for Glory.
Hell yeah.
FYI, biggest show of the year. So that's going to be huge.
It's getting nuts.
And hey, it doesn't stop there, J-Bone. I saw the latest episode of Bison Talks dropped from the TNI UK, featuring Hometown Man interviewed here on the TNI network. So
on
check
this
out
channel,
the latest interview with Bison and Hometown Man.
Yep, dropped earlier this afternoon. Go give Bison and the hometown
man.
Go give him some love.
Hometown man.
The man did the interview in a mask, in character, the whole time. It was great.
Hometown man.
Love it. Some people are still saying it resembles some Cody dude. I don't know, but anyways,
you mean the champion up there up north? Might be him.
Not the Nightmare.
I saw him in a see-through mask before. Can't see.
No, that was a different universe. That was some other wrestling universe. But yeah, great show tonight. So at least some of it went TNA's way. It could have went.
It went even.
It did. It did. Yeah, it went 2-2. And you honestly, as a TNA fan, can't ask for more. I mean, yeah, of course you could, but fairly, as far as a one-off show like this, and I'm sure there'll be more down the road at some point, somehow, some way. Maybe they'll make it a yearly thing for the next few years of the partnership. You know, there'll be a Showdown 2. You know, that'd be something special. Maybe a bigger venue. Who knows? Because I felt like this. Yeah. So, but yeah, I'd say, Bill, this one was a success. You had some big names in there. I felt there was a lot of hype. I don't know if we're gonna see anything on ratings, but if there is, great. If not, whatever. I
think we'll see. Although, like I said, it's a little bit of a we're still understanding what they really are, because they're kind of differing. But no, I think you'll see a good number here. I think the promotion was there, and like I said, once again, I think I'm feeling very optimistic. Like I said, I feel like the CW didn't need to put over TNA the way it was put over, and that's obviously a lot of WWE influence as well. But it's great to see. It's great to see a promotion that myself and many others, and J-Bo now for years, has been heavily invested in. To see kind of something you followed for so long get the respect, because let's not kid ourselves, J-Bo. TNA has been that beaten down promotion, the one that the internet wrestling community, the dirt sheets, love the trash, love to kick dirt on, love to pick on it at the schoolyard, and it just survived. It just kept on going. You can't beat us down. We're gonna come back. We're gonna put on good shows, even if we don't get the respect of the wrestling community out there. But what have they done, especially the Anthem regime over these last 5+ years now? Like you're talking now, but and different managements that have come and gone and done some stuff very well, but keep building and building. And what you're seeing the group now do to just elevate it. And like, once again, not saying it's the be all end all, but to get the recognition, to get the respect, to get the eyes, as we talked earlier, that they're getting. It's just, I can't say enough how impressive this all is. And it's good to see. Now, once again, I understand being worried about possible future things that could happen, because it's wrestling. We've seen stories play out and they all don't go well, because usually in the end, there's one big company and everybody else is just doing what they're doing. But once again, we will say it again, TNA outlived WCW, ECW. Like these companies come and go. TNA, though, still here. There's something to that. And it was close. I seen it there. It was almost not here. But luckily things happened where they did, but it feels more secure now than ever. And with this, we're waiting, depending on that deal. If they get on network television, like like from the times where we were going on Pursuit, and like we were hanging on by a thread for a while.
The fishing channel. Oh,
like it was tough. It was tough sledding there to catch these shows. But now that access, and obviously the TNA Plus app makes it very easy. But if we can get it in even more homes with more eyes, and really partner with NXT as like a double hit on the same network, that'd be fantastic. But if it's not that, like I said, after tonight, just a presentation, I'm seeing CW all over my eyes. I'm in a CW haze right now. I'm waiting for the Dawson's Creek music to start playing. But I think no matter what, we're going to be happy with that end result. And we'll see when it happens. So if it happens at Bound for Glory, happen slightly later, but I think we're gonna find out something soon. And just great to see. Great to see.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's this the partnership has not been perfect, but wrestling itself isn't perfect. I gotta say I am happy with what's going on though. The storytelling has come through in the end, I believe. So at least there's that. And I think it's just gonna get better from there. So hang tight, people. We got a crazy week. The rest of the week we got, like you said, the go home show. We got Bound for Glory this weekend. Some big stuff happening, folks. Hold tight, and we'll be covering it all right here on Total Nonstop Impact Talk for Impact fans. So you folks know what to do as we get out of here tonight on this special edition of TNI covering NXT Showdown, a first covering a full NXT show, not just portions, the whole thing.
It was a technicality because it was also a full TNA show.
It was,
but it was on NXT's turf.
Right.
So I will give credit.
Yeah.
And I know there are people that were asking, J-Bone, that were saying, was I going to be there tonight?
Oh, yeah.
There were people asking. And I will say this. I did go through a lot of the motions to go. Ooh. I thought about it. It was under heavy consideration.
Okay.
But there was just too much stuff going on. Work to get in there and get out as I would like to. So it was just a little too short notice to pull it off. But it was close. It was close, but it just, the timing did not work out great. But it was great to see. It was great to see, and I'm glad I could be here because obviously if I was there, I would have been very tough to pull off tonight's show going on as soon as we did after it ended. But I was still glad to see it, do it all here with you guys. But yeah, like this, that is a first that we covered a full NXT show, but it also was a full TNA show. So we do like to see that. But yeah, like, and J-Bo's not wrong because I talked about, obviously, the Bison talks with Hometown Man. We still got the whole TNI UK show tomorrow. So we got another, like, once again, you can now have TNI tonight, tomorrow with the UK crew. We're back again on Thursday. And then Sunday, you'll get the, it sounds like you might get a full reaction and review. We'll see what happens on Sunday. Obviously I'll be there. And it is like 5 hours and change away. So I probably will be vehicular. I'll be mobile, Bill, on the road. But I will probably, if I'm just in the car, I might go audio only. Maybe I'll Bluetooth in and chat up for a bit if I can.
We'll see.
But we'll see. We'll see who else is available this Sunday as well. Right. But stay tuned.
There you go. Yeah, maybe we'll get some guests. Who knows? I jokingly was gonna say, yeah, Bill's gonna be live at Bound for Glory with a TNI GoPro. No, I'm kidding. Get the Bill cam going.
One of these days, it might happen.
That'd be hilarious. Live front row. Wave to yourself. Anyways. All right. You folks know what to do on your way out of here. Make sure you smash that like button, smash that sub button, ring that bell for notifications so that you know when more of our content hits your screen. We'll see you guys in a few days. Check out Team TNI UK tomorrow. And we'll see you guys real soon.